I actually did much better than I did last year. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Morgan and I have my own art small business called Morgan's Creations. This video is going to be a craft show vlog. I'm filming this the day after, but last night, December 5th, was my last craft show of the year. This holiday craft show season has had so many ups and downs. My third craft show ended up getting canceled. Check out my previous video to find out what happened. So yesterday, December 5th, was my final craft show of the year. This craft show was at a church and it was a Friday night show from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. I am a returning vendor at this show. This was my 4th year vending at this Christmas market, so I know what to expect, and this show I always do really good at. So I was very excited for it this year. I always am looking forward to this show, and I'm really excited to share with you guys how it went. So my spot was number 44. I had a really big space. The way they organized and set up this sanctuary area in the church gave everybody a really big space. I believe the space was 10 by 10. We started setting up my booth. I had a corner spot. So here's a time lapse of us setting up. My mom and my grandpa came to the show and they were there the entire time. They helped me to set up and just be like extra hands. So I appreciate their help at this show, and they've helped me at all of my craft shows this year. So I really appreciate their help. I had to get creative with the camera angles. I had to keep changing the angles and changing where I put the camera. I ended up putting the camera on the shelf. The spot next to me, number 45, they came like 15 minutes before the show started. I swear at every show I'm at, there's always somebody next to me who's either late or doesn't show up. I really didn't think they were going to show up. I have a lot of footage of my booth, so you can kind of see the two walkways where people can walk through and how my booth is on a corner and how that kind of looks with the flow of people walking. So since my booth was on a corner, I did an L-shaped table setup and I put my white shelf on the corner. This is my typical corner setup. The table on the right side of the corner. I put all of my ornaments. I have my pegboard display and these white cubbies that hold all of my wood ornaments. I have a small Christmas tree that holds my plastic ornaments, and I put my glass ones in a pink bin. On the corner shelf, I have some acrylic paintings on display and some older candle holders on the bottom. On the other table, I have some of my other items like my magnets, my bookmarks, and my prints. I also have some paintings on display in the back, and I also have some signs set up around each table. I really love this booth setup. It's one of my favorite ones I've ever done. I just love how everything is displayed. It's not too busy. I do prefer a simple, minimalistic booth setup. After I finished setting up, I took a few minutes to prep some of my packaging. When I sell ornaments, I package them in these small craft paper bags, and I put in a business card and I close it off with a thank you sticker. But I like to keep these prepped, so when people make a purchase, I just have to put the ornaments in the bag. It just helps save time if I do this ahead and I prep the bags. I put my business cards in the bags and set those aside for later. I don't have any audio from the show because I have my Square card reader in my phone, and when I record with it in my phone, it messes up the audio. It corrupts the audio, so I can't use it, unfortunately. So I filmed as many orders as I could. Here I am packaging multiple orders from throughout the entire night, and when I was done with an order, I would write down what the customer bought on my notepad so I can keep track of my sales and what has sold. I didn't get as much footage as I was hoping to. I was really busy. I really tried to film as much as I could, but it did get a little overwhelming sometimes, which is a good thing. I'm not complaining. I'm very grateful that I was busy the entire night. I only got footage of me packing the ornament orders because I was able to lean my phone up against the back of the pegboard display, so I could only film from one angle. There wasn't really anywhere else to set up my camera in a way that's discreet. I think next year I'm gonna work on that. Maybe I'll bring a tripod or somewhere else I can put my camera so I can film multiple angles. But I did take a couple customers from the other table, which is on the other side, but again, I wasn't able to capture any of that footage. I wasn't able to get any footage of the tear down and cleanup. I didn't have anywhere to set up my phone so I could film the time lapse. My dad and one of my sisters came to the show and they also helped me pack up and clean up. So there were like 5 people cleaning up at the same time, so I didn't really have anywhere to put the camera, so there's no tearing down or cleaning up footage, but I appreciate their help. My aunts like to visit me at my shows, so that's always a nice surprise. I really appreciate my family supporting my business and helping me out. So this was a later show. We didn't really get home until about 9 o'clock, and I spent the rest of the night removing everything that had sold from my website. I took my notebook with the list of everything I sold, and I used that to take down every item that had sold. These are the SKU number stickers from every ornament that sold, so I had to go in on my shop and mark all of those as sold out. I don't want to double sell those, obviously. Now it's time for a craft show recap. So like I said, this was my 4th time vending at this Christmas market. This was my 4th year, and it was by far my best year yet. Even though I am a returning vendor at this event, everybody gets a different spot every year. I've always been in the main sanctuary area because it was at a church. This time I was in the back, but I actually got really lucky and I got a corner booth, and it was near a set of doors. So there's 2 entrances. So when you go through the back doors, my booth was pretty much right near the door on the corner. It was a really great spot with great views and visibility for the people walking through. I've been in the back before, but this was my first time having a corner booth at this show. Because of my booth setup, I can put my ornaments on one side and my paintings and prints on the other. You had people coming in from the different sides of the aisle and also people coming in by the door, so there was a lot of foot traffic by my booth. There was also a lot of foot traffic in general. This show was really big. This year was their most attended craft show. I barely had time to sit down. There was foot traffic nonstop throughout the whole night. So there were a wide range of customers. You had kids, adults, some teenagers, families. I was really interested to see what demographic would be interested in my items. The kids really liked my stuff. They were really interested in my prints and my magnets and my bookmarks, especially the younger kids. They really liked looking at my magnets. They liked flipping through my prints, and some of them liked my ornaments as well, but it was mostly older women who purchased my ornaments. Another interesting thing is that at this craft show, I had a lot of card payments. At my other shows this year, I probably only had 1, maybe 2 people pay with their credit card, so I used my Square reader, my Square card reader. But at this show, I had a lot. I had 5 sales with people paying with credit card. I don't mind taking card payments. At the end of the day, I really just care about getting a sale, but I do have to pay a processing fee every time a card is swiped. It's only a small percentage of the sale, but it's still money that I'm losing technically, having to pay Square this fee. The Square card payments can be pretty annoying too sometimes. Sometimes my reader doesn't work. By the way, Square is the name of the company that handles the card payments that I use. I use Square for my online shop. It's the host of my shop. After the first transaction, it was able to, I think, get itself set up, and then for the other 4 card transactions, it was fine, no issues at all. When it works good, but I do like having multiple ways that people can purchase from me. Being able to have people swipe their credit card is just another way to get sales and to get customers. So my best-selling product from last night were my wood ornaments. That was kind of expected. Those are always my best sellers, but something really surprising is that my watercolor bookmarks did really well too. Now I'm almost completely sold out of my bookmarks. Last night when I started, I had 11, and now I only have 3 left, so I sold 8 of them. I sold a total of 25 ornaments. Something that's also pretty interesting is that my glass and plastic ornaments have been doing pretty well this year. So I sell these acrylic pour ornaments. I have some that are glass and some that are plastic, and I have had years where I didn't sell any. This year I've actually sold about 10. These items don't really do that well, so I'm not going to restock them. Once they are sold out for good, and that's why I price them at $1. I just want to price them cheap so I can get rid of the inventory. But I actually sold 2 last night, which was really surprising. There was a girl who was interested in them and she bought 1, and then later on she came back and bought another, so I really appreciate that. She really liked them. I'm really glad I ended up making more bookmarks. My show last week got canceled, so I felt like I made more inventory for nothing, but it actually turned out to be a good thing. Having those extra bookmarks helped at this show, and I ended up selling the bookmarks that I made last week, so they ended up selling this week, so now I am kind of glad I did make that extra inventory. Alright, now let's get into the numbers. Let's get into my totals. I wrote it down. So this year I sold a total of 38 items, and I believe I had 20 orders, so 20 people ordered from me, but some people ordered multiple items. So my gross income was $235, and I do have to subtract $1.95 for the Square card processing fee. Also, my booth fee was free. So my total net profit was $233.05. So that is really good for me for this Friday night 3-hour show. I actually did much better than I did last year. This has been my most profitable Christmas market at this event. Out of the 4 years I've been doing this event, last year I sold 28 items. So I sold 10 more items this year. My net profit from last year was $139.53. So this year I made about $100 more. I'm really happy and proud about that. And of course, I'm very grateful for those sales. Last year I sold 26 ornaments. This year I sold 25 of my wood ornaments. So I basically sold the same amount, only one less. I thought that was interesting. So that was how my final craft show of the year went. I'm really glad things ended on a high note. There were so many ups and downs this year. You can check out my previous craft show vlogs if you want to hear how my holiday craft show season for 2025 went. I'll leave a link in the description and at the end of this video. My final show really made up for some of the fails that I've had this season. I'm really grateful for all of the sales I made last night. I met so many new people. Everybody was so nice and friendly. And I also want to say thank you to my returning customers. There were quite a few familiar faces. A lot of people came back to support my business again this year. They've bought for me in previous years and they just continue to support my business. They come to see my booth every year at this show, and that still surprises me. Like, it's so crazy that people come and seek me out at craft shows. Like, that's so insane to me, but I really appreciate that. It makes me feel so good. It really means a lot to me. And of course, I'm also grateful for my new customers, and just everybody I talked to was really nice and friendly. All of my leftover items from this holiday season are available on my shop, so you can check out the link in the description. In the comments, let me know your thoughts on my video. Let me know your thoughts on how my craft show season went. Let me know your thoughts on my items and my booth setup. Also, let me know if you guys like to attend craft shows, or if you're a crafter, and let me know how your craft show season is going. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!